Secondly, the thing about Hambone is you don't want to try to please don't expect I hope you have a low entertainment threshold. That's all. And the other thing is, it teaches you you're not born with bigotry. You got to learn it. And in my family, down in Southwest Virginia, we had enough bigotry to last the whole county, probably the whole state. And so, my mom would say to me when I was just a little redneck, you know, I was 6 or 7, she'd say, now don't go hang out with them black kids who live down by the railroad tracks, which translated into my pre-bigoted child brain. Oh, don't hang out with people who sing harmony on pitch with rhythm and timing. They like us white people in here. So, of course, I went straight down the railroad tracks. Had a friend named Bobby Lowe who felt sorry for me because I was white. And he could really hambone, and he would sit around on rocks. I guess we were 6 or 7, you know, and he'd just hambone and make up songs. And he did the real hambone songs too. He did, I hambone around the world, I'm going again. Well, what's it gonna do when we get back? Take a little walk down the railroad track, hambone. And I just drove me nuts that he could do that and I couldn't. And I was always begging him and pleading him to show me how. And the thing was that he had a lot of tricks he could do, and he had one that I've never seen another human being do. He could do what he called the honky hambone with one hand, and it didn't have no rhythm or time. And he could keep the beat with that foot, and then he could do what he called the Negro hambone with the other hand, and then keep the beat with this foot, sort of like this. So once I learned that, you know, I'm thinking, I told you, don't have a low entertainment threshold, not embarrass yourself. I'm trying to take on the embarrassment for all of us. And so I thought, what do I do? I go to my first job interview, and they said, what can you do, young man? Oh yeah. So, anyways, finally he gave up. I was always begging him. He said, oh, I'll tell you how. And if you ever seen white people hambone, it's called Ethan, and it's very embarrassing. Because, first of all, the people that do it are already uglier than... Well, I saw this one guy do it on Hee-Haw one night that had a like a Keith Richards hairdo on his lip. And he was scrunching up his face to make it uglier, you know. And so Bobby Lowe says, I'll teach you how to do it if you promise not to do it like they do in them honky tonks. I thought, that must be the sound you get when you hit a white man on the head. And I promised not to. And so he showed me. And of course, there's not very many songs I can do with this, but I have one song I wrote about a great horse I once owned. I like to write a song about all the good horses, and this was a wonderful horse. His name was Balatier Nazir. He was the last surviving grandson of the greatest racehorse that ever lived, the great Nazir, who had belonged to King Muhammad Ali, not the boxer, and was traded later to a Maharaja, and still after that traded to an Egyptian Arabian farm in England. He raced for 23 years. He raced over 100 times. The races were from 1/4 mile to 100 miles, and the only race he ever lost was his last one. And I think that's probably a record that will stand for a while. So this fellow needed a good song about him because he did a lot of winning on his own part too. And for people that's never been around a stallion, here's the thing: if you drive along out in the country and you see a bunch of horses standing around the field, none of them are stallions. These stallions have about the same worldview as the average teenage boy. The world is made up of those that you must be breeding with or trying to breed with, and those that you must fight off in order to breed with all the rest. And so, but when you see a horse standing alone in a pasture, if there's other horses around and he's isolated, you probably bet that's a stallion. This particular stallion had a real sense of who he was, and The thing that I always admire a man of any species that likes his work, but them that's in the stallion line of work, and I remember